everybody, welcome back. Today I've got an absolutely fantastic little recipe for stuffed pork loin chops, and I'm going to make them with a Spanakopita filling. Absolutely delicious, super easy to make, and it's fairly low carb. And for this recipe, what you're going to need is about 6 to 8 thick cut pork loin chops, about an inch or so thick, because what we're going to do is slice them on the inside, almost like butterfly them, stuff them in, and bake them off. So to start us off with this recipe, it's something that's very, very easy. We're going to first work on our Spanakopita filling. So I'm just going to fire up my pan here, and I'm going to use my food processor to just chop up an onion real quick. It makes things a lot easier when you're chopping up an onion in a food processor rather than kind of doing it by hand. If you want to do it by hand, totally fine. It works. Just for me, less work, much faster time, and you know what? I get a kick out of using my food processor, so perfect. My onion goes in. So in my pan, I'm using a tablespoon or two of Greek extra virgin olive oil, and I'm just going to take my minced onion and add it to my pan. Nothing to this, nothing complicated at all. In fact, very, very easy. And there is that sizzle I absolutely love. Next part of this is a little salt, and I mean a very small amount of salt. A generous helping of pepper. I love pepper. And just get that browning off and kind of caramelizing down. And all there is to this filling really is a little bit of the onion, some feta. For this recipe it's about 80 grams of feta, and some spinach that we're going to wilt down into the filling. That's it. Now let me make some room over here because I'm going to have to bring over my pan and just have it all ready to go and on standby. The next part of this recipe, and probably the most labor intensive, is the actual pork chops and what we're going to do with them. And what I'm going to do with them is very simply, I'm going to take them, and they're nice and thick cut, and what you're going to do is cut them on the side carefully without losing a finger or stabbing yourself in the hand. And what you want to do is almost butterfly them. And you want to create like a little pocket where the love is going to go in. See where I'm going with this? And just remember, for this, you don't need any mad ninja knife skills or anything like that. You just have to kind of be a little on the careful side and just do the best you can. Remember, it's only cooking. You don't have to do anything complicated. It doesn't have to be rocket science. Nice and easy. And it's supposed to be having fun. So our onions are pretty much done. Our pork chops have now been, actually, I was about to say stuffed. Our pork chops are now butterflied and they're ready to go. The next part of this is to finish up on our stuffing, which is our Spanakopita stuffing. And for this, I'm just using regular old spinach leaves. I know it seems like I'm putting in like a whole shitload of spinach in this, but I promise you it's not. It will wilt down and it'll become almost nothing. And remember, we have like 8 beautiful chops to fill. So put that over here. And this will literally wilt down in like a minute, maybe 2 minutes. And it doesn't take much at all. And this is the most basic of the Spanakopita fillings. Sauteed onion, feta, and spinach. That's it. The next part of this is our feta. And for this, I'm using 80 grams of feta that I'm just going to crumble in loosely. And that's all it is. And this will actually start melting and becoming all gooey and delicious. And that's exactly what we want. And remember, this is going to bake off in the oven as well. And by the way, which reminds me, you're going to preheat your oven 400 degrees Fahrenheit or about 200 degrees Celsius, and get that off and going, so that way you don't have to worry about that anymore. Along with this, you're going to throw in a little bit of nutmeg. Not much, just enough to give it that little bit of hum. And when I tell you that spinach and feta love, absolutely adore nutmeg. All right, so this is now ready to go. Our stuffing is ready. It actually looks like the insides of a spanakopita. So let's get to stuffing our pork chops. And for this, I'm just going to take a tablespoon. Believe me, that's what you want. I'm going to make some room over here. And I'll let this actually, I'm going to let my pan sit on one of my oven mitts. And what I'm going to do is very simply just start stuffing your pork chops. And this may be a little bit runny, but that's okay. It's only going to make for like a juicy chop anyway. And for this, you're going to use maybe a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of the Spanakopita stuffing. Look at this. This is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And it goes just like that. And this is one of these things that a little goes a long way, my friends. You don't need a lot to give you that big impact or that big punch of flavor. I'm going to move these out of the way here. And again, this is absolutely gorgeous. It smells fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. There really isn't anything to this recipe at all. In fact, the most complicated thing or the most difficult thing in terms of skill level is probably opening up or butterflying the pork chops. That's perfect, just like that. How gorgeous does this look? This is absolutely perfect. And now for this, you're basically going to take this very carefully and just put it over your pork chops, which is that luscious Spanakopita topping, just like that. It's perfect. Leave that here. How good is this? No salt, but just top them off with a little bit of pepper, your chops. Nothing to this at all. And that's it. This is now going to go into our 400-degree oven for about 45 minutes to an hour, give or take, until you get your right kind of doneness in this, and you're good to go. Alrighty then, and here we have our freshly baked, right out of the oven pork chops Spanakopita. They are done to absolute perfection. It only takes a little bit of effort and you've got a meal fit for a king. And this dish frankly goes with just about anything. A simple side salad, pasta, potatoes in any way, veggies, whatever you prefer. So that's it for this episode on my pork chops Spanakopita. Thanks you very much for watching. I appreciate your time. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. I'm Ken, aka The Lazy Gourmet. Bye for now.